The NBA is home to some of the most athletic people in the world. If you've watched basketball long enough, you've seen some pretty remarkable feats. Watching how high some of these players jump will surely get you out of your seat. Today we'll be sharing the top 10 highest vertical jumps in NBA history. But before we do that, subscribe to our channel and leave a like on the video. Number 10. Shannon Brown. If you can impress Kobe with your high vertical, you know you're doing something right. Shannon Brown might not be well known among casual NBA fans, but hardcore fans and especially Laker fans will surely remember his memorable performances in 2009 and 2010 when he became a champion in LA. Despite being a role player throughout his career, there is no denying that he was one of the NBA's highest flyers with a vertical of 44.5 inches. Number 9. Zion Williamson. Despite being built like a tank and perhaps having a few extra pounds, young Zion can absolutely jump out of a gym. His vertical was measured at 45 inches, and during his time at Duke, he successfully dunked from the free throw line. The start of his NBA career has been marked by injuries, but even in the limited time that we've seen him perform, Zion was impressive as defenders just bounced off his huge body, leading to some nasty dunks. Watching him catch lobs from Lonzo will surely be a joy to watch for years to come. Number 8. Spud Webb. At 5'3", Spud Webb is the third shortest player in NBA history. But what he lacked in height, he made up in hops. With a vertical of 46 inches, he was able to go head-to-head with the rest of the players, even if he lasted only for seconds. What's the most impressive about Webb is that he was able to win the dunk contest in 1986, a feat that was thought impossible for a player his size. Apart from his leaping ability, Spud Webb was a very solid player in general, as he was a starter for most of his career. His height combined with his vertical made him one of the most fascinating and unique players in NBA history. Number 7. Derrick Jones Jr. The winner of the 2020 dunk contest, although in a rather controversial fashion, Derrick Jones Jr. is one of the best in-game dunkers we have today. Seriously, if you haven't seen his highlight reel, you're missing out. With an impressive 46-inch vertical, it sometimes seems like he glides through the air, leading to some impressive alley-oop dunks and posters. Though he didn't get to play much in the playoffs, the 2019-2020 season was his best yet. And as he improves his handles and other areas of his game, it will allow him to attack the basket with even more confidence than he has now, which will hopefully mean more insane poster-like ones like the one over Jonas Valanciunas. That was nasty. Number 6. Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine is one of the most exciting scorers in the league. He has tight handles, amazing shooting abilities, and can score through contact with regular consistency. But one of the most exciting parts of LaVine's game is easily his leaping ability. With a 46-inch vertical, LaVine is one of the best dunkers we have in the game today, and his performances in the 2015 and 2016 dunk contest were some of the most memorable to date. LaVine averaged 25 points last season and is just 25 years old. It means that we'll see plenty of high-flying dunks from him in the future, and we can't wait. James White. James White didn't have a memorable career, appearing in only 67 games total and averaging just under 3 points per game. White couldn't quite make it in the NBA, but he did have a respectable career overseas. While he might not be the best player out there, one thing that no one can take away from him is his insane athletic ability. With his highest vertical measured at 46 inches, White could soar above the gym. He became known as an incredible dunker. His between-the-legs dunks were his specialty, and he got to showcase them in various dunk contests around the world, including the 2013 NBA dunk contest where he represented the Knicks. Jason Richardson. After winning the 2000 NCAA title with Michigan State, J-Rich was ready to take on the NBA. He was selected the number 5 pick in the draft, and as soon as he stepped foot on the floor, his athleticism immediately jumped out, no pun intended. Richardson was known as one of the most athletic players in the early 2000s, and with players like T-Mac Carter and Kobe, he was in elite company. His best season came with the Warriors, where at one point he averaged 23 points and has had a respectable NBA career up to his retirement in 2015. Some of his legendary in-game dunks will never be forgotten, especially with a 46.5-inch vertical. Number 3. Dennis Smith Jr. One problem that extremely athletic players can face is relying too much on their athletic ability early on and not developing other parts of their game. It seems like this was exactly the case with Dennis Smith Jr., who after an impressive stint with NC State was selected high in the draft by the Dallas Mavericks and was expected to become their point guard of the future. This didn't exactly pan out, as Dennis Smith struggled to adjust to the higher level of play in the NBA, as his athleticism simply wasn't enough to make him a serviceable NBA point guard. He was eventually traded out of Dallas, and we got to see glimpses of greatness from him from time to time, when he reminds us that he has a 48-inch vertical and that he can absolutely fly. Number 2, Darrell Griffith. When you think about the best dunkers in the 80s, MJ, Dr. J, Dominique are usually the players that first come to mind. But there was another player that many people don't know about who could compete or even outfly one of those three. His name was Darrell Griffith. Darrell was the best player for the University of Louisville, and things didn't seem like they would change when he made the jump to the NBA. He won Rookie of the Year award in 1981, averaging 20 points per game, and was able to match and surpass that tally the next 4 seasons too. Unfortunately, after foot surgery saw him miss the entire 85-86 season, Darrell struggled to return to his former form, but he did play for 5 more seasons. Standing at 6'4", Darrell had a 48-inch vertical and became known as Dr. Duncanstein. He played his entire career for the Utah Jazz, and his number 35 can never be worn by a Jazz player again. Number 1, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was born a winner, so it should come as no surprise he finds himself at the number 1 spot for his jumping ability. While many might associate him with the iconic turnaround jumpers, defense, and bald head, Michael could absolutely take flight, and no one in his way could stop him. He had a 48-inch vertical, and if anyone deserves to be called Jump Man, it's him. His most memorable dunk came in the 1988 Slam Dunk Contest, where his airness jumped from the free throw line and pulled off one of the most historic dunks in the history of the competition, with players trying to replicate it to this day. Package that with solid fundamentals, defensive consistency, and elite mentality, and you have the greatest basketball player of all time, Michael Jordan. Well, which one of those high flyers do you enjoy watching the most? Let us know in the comments, and as always, subscribe and leave us a like.